it out. It's fine. We'll just cut
No,
it out.
I was gonna
That's the
ask.
that's the power of post.
Uh,
Episode 2. Thank you for tuning in. I realized the last time, bro, I forgot to introduce myself, so it's just like I was looking at the YouTube
uh,
video and it said
yeah.
host James and host Aaron, and that was it. And I was like, what about me? Like, yeah,
That's
man.
funny.
Without further ado, my name is Carlos. We got James and Aaron joining us for episode 2 of For the Record. If you haven't already checked out the first episode, it's on YouTube. If you go to the Instagram page, the link is in the bio. Real quick, man, like for the people that are watching and listening, I would love to hear some feedback. I know I posted on the Instagram page. For a couple of you, if you guys already listened to it, just if you have some feedback, some constructive criticism, we're not gonna get upset about it. If anything, it's what we want. Just to see how we can do better. Like I said, it's just starting off. So, if you guys have any feedback, please DM us. Please DM the page. And yeah, man. Without further ado, how you boys doing, man? What you guys been up to?
Doing good, doing good. Just working.
How's the weather for you, Aaron? I know you're on the other side of the country, bro. Aaron, you there, bro? You
Shoot,
there,
my fault.
Aaron?
Shoot, my fault, y'all. I have myself muted. Nah, I was gonna
Oh,
say, yeah, it's all good. The weather was cool. We had a tornado warning. It was like a freak tornado warning, but I wouldn't let something like that happen, so it just didn't happen. So
Yes,
we
sir.
just
You
yeah,
went
it's
and calmed it
cool.
down.
Yeah. I just told it to chill out. I said ease up, bro. So we was good, but yeah, it was weird. We had like 80-degree weather, and then
mm,
it dropped down to like 40 degrees. Now we're at like 70 degrees. It's weird out here, but it's cool. I
Yeah.
mm.
mean, yeah, there ain't no rain. There ain't no rain, that's for sure. Yeah, it's weird, man. It's really cool. It's a trip out here for sure. But like right now is like the perfect weather. This is when you want to be outside the most, where it's like 70 degrees. I see everybody and their mama out here barbecuing. I just took my babies on a walk again today. Like we taking them
There you
out every
go.
day we can until it gets too hot.
Earlier in the month, we had Jack Harlow drop his album. We had J. Cole drop in February. A lot of good music coming out. Is there any that like sticks out to you guys?
I was just gonna say Cole's album. Just because like the way he prefaced it was like,
Yeah, that
I know
was
at
heat.
first it was like looking like looking like he was about to retire and whatnot, but then it comes
Mm-hmm.
comes out that he's like it's really more so like the end of like the J. Cole story, like the come up and all the way until now. Now he's more so
Mm.
kind of just free to do whatever he wants to do musically instead of telling his life story. So that one for sure stood out to me. What about you, Aaron?
Oh yeah, no, the J. Cole album absolutely amazing. I was happy to see he was able to drop like a really good like body of work where it feels like he did kind of like close that chapter in his life. I heard he was gonna be doing more
Mm-hmm.
production, which I think is cool. I'm gonna love that for him. Honestly, he's a really
Oh
good
yeah.
producer as well. Yeah, so I love that. That stood out. I was gonna say Jack Harlow's album stood out. Brent Faiyaz's album, I actually really like it. It might not be everybody's favorite, but I love it because Raphael Sadiq was the executive producer on that. Raphael Sadiq has been an executive producer for a lot of things. He even did Sinners soundtrack. So like his ear for music
Mm-hmm.
is just
Oh,
cool. So
Sace. Oh, yeah.
yeah, so he had a lot of good input. And then Terrace Martin just dropped recently, little jazz like trilogy. Love that too. It's just something to listen to while you're doing whatever. It's not anything really you got to put. You got to sit there and think or just listen to. You just vibe out really.
Bro, I want to dive a little bit more into the J. Cole album because I had no idea. I mean, when I first saw that it was like the fall off, because I remember talking to Aaron years back and we were going down this rabbit hole of talking about like J. Cole's albums, and we said that, oh yeah, once he drops the fall off, like he's retired, because that's what he's been saying for the
Mhm.
longest. And now that he's come out and been like, oh, this is actually, like you just explained, James, this is actually just the end of like a different story of J. Cole, and he's actually gonna start doing more stuff. Um, bro, producer J. Cole is a whole. The fact that he can rap and he can do like all of that, right? But like producer J. Cole, that's a different kind of animal, bro.
Mhm.
So I'm
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
excited to see
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like him and Kanye kind of have that thing where they could honestly pick
Oh
either
yeah.
boy. Yeah, doing that, and they have just this really good talent, especially for sampling. it's really good. It's really different when you have that ear to be be able to sample and hear things you like. And J. Cole, since even his mixtape days, being able to mix or make just these different kinds of beats, things that make it work for him and makes him just so unique. I mean, you could tell his production too. Was that he did I believe he did a song on Mac Miller's Swimming album. I can't remember
Yeah.
what. Yeah, that one, and then him and was that
It's the one where
Corday and
he's like
Anderson
buried
Paak.
underground, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. I don't remember
yeah,
the name of the song either, but yeah, that was heat.
yeah, Heat, man. Like I love his production. I'm excited to see him do more. Especially that means he gets to step back and do more for Dreamville. Because I know Dreamville been kind of in that weird free fall where a lot of artists have been able to drop albums, and it's really because they're a company inside of a company on top of another, label. So like you have all these layers of labels. So
Hmm.
some
Hmm.
people really your stuff gets shelled, and that was really kind of the problem. I feel like with JID was that he wasn't getting the stuff out the way he would like. Because he wants to drop almost every year. It seems like he's hungry like that. So when he's not able to, I'm pretty sure he causes
Yeah.
some problems. But like I think honestly, it'd be good for him. I think it'll be good for him to be producing for these folks, especially like when you got talent like JID, you got Boz, you got what's that Cause, you got Earth
You
Gang, you
got
got all
Ari
these folks.
Lennox. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, actually, Ari
Hmm.
left, man. Ari went to a different label, bro. She just dropped her first album on a
Oh, did
different
she?
label. Yeah, man. Yeah, she did. But it was because of stuff with the label. But I don't think it was like, on like J. Cole's whole thing. It was more of the label, like the people behind everything. They were messing with her
I
stuff.
didn't
But
know
she
that.
did.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. She had an interview with Breakfast Club a couple months back, man.
That's
They were
right.
trying,
Yeah.
how like, yeah, how Breakfast Club is. They be trying to get people to say something incriminating, and they were trying to get her to shame J. Cole, but she was given the big cosign because she was
They
like,
were.
I wouldn't be able to get here, yeah, without
Bro, it's not
without
it's not
Cole.
Breakfast Club. It's Charlemagne, man. Charlemagne should be
That's
out of
true.
pocket. I don't even want to repeat some of the stuff that man
Yeah.
said, but
Yeah, Charlamagne's
Crazy.
a menace, bro. He'll always try to get you to say something crazy, bro. Like but no, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's a shame she ain't there anymore. But like all of her work she did under Dreamville's been amazing, very underrated. Artist in that label. So I would love for Cole to be able to produce for them folks and really like get them, up to that next level. Because they got a lot of talent. JID probably one of the best rappers out right now. I mean, that's undisputed. And he really did it in such a short amount of time, man. Jid's one of those artists that just like he has that knack for it, and he got talent. Earth Gang's cool too, because JID
I
and
forgot
Earth
about
King.
Earth
Yeah.
Gang.
yeah, exactly. That's why I'm glad Cole's stepping back and being more on his label focus because Earth Gang need to get out there more because they're talented too. Them folks worked with
Yeah,
JID and Black before they even got famous. They used to all be in a group together, So like being able to get them out there would be nice too because they have a good project too. They get a lot of good features. They had a joint with T-Pain that was fire. Like I like them, man. I like those folks, man. So actually, funny enough, I met them a couple years ago. They opened up for
Oh, that's
my
fire.
Malik. Yeah, my artist Malik opened up for him in Seattle over at Showbox. And when we got there, they were doing
Hmm.
sound check and we came up the stairs and I was wearing J. Cole's Dreamer shoes, the Puma ones. And I had a blue
Hmm.
one and a red one because I used to do that mismatch stuff. I used to try to think I was cool like that. So I had these shoes on and I was going up the
hmm
stairs and I could hear him behind me. I hear one of them say he was like, "Yo, he got on two different shoes." Like that's all. That's all it was. I couldn't turn around with the movement in, but that was. I count that as meeting them because they at least said so about me. So you know.
Hmm.
But yeah.
J. Cole was out
Mhm,
here in the
mhm,
2016. What was it like?
mhm.
Forest Hills Drive.
Yep,
Hmm.
yeah. I went to that one. I went to that show. Boz opened up for him. That was cool,
Yeah,
man. I was so mad
I
because
was.
I was vibing to Boz and he was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta stay out here for a couple more songs." J. Cole's by the Ferris wheel. I was like, "Bro, you at the Ferris wheel? I should be over there getting my senior picture with Buddy. What am I doing?"
He's out there getting a spoon right now. Just give him some
Yeah,
time.
yeah. He
Yeah.
blends right in, bro. He blends in no matter where he at, bro. I love that for him, honestly.
That's actually
Yo.
crazy. I didn't know. Can you just imagine like getting to the fair and you just see J. Cole like waiting in line for Elephant Ear? You do a double
Yeah,
take,
you
like, wait
see.
a minute, is that who I think it
Yeah,
is?
you could just you're over here playing that game with the water guns, trying to pop the balloon, you win, and then you hear somebody on the far end, damn it, and it's J. Cole. Like that'd be
Yeah.
crazy, bro.
Say, don't you got somewhere to
Yeah.
be? That's
Right.
funny.
Oh, right. Concert, my
Oh,
fault. Yeah. Say, yeah, I gotta see what they got going at the fair because I want to hit something while I'm out there. Like I'm trying to make the most of it while I'm out there. So definitely see what they got, man. I'm punching myself. They had Earth, Wind, and Fire a few years back, and I never got the tickets.
Oh,
that's
I
right.
Yeah,
remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
huge. That was huge.
Granted, I only knew a couple songs by then, but I was like, bro, this is Earth, Wind, and Fire. I
Hey,
still gotta.
yeah, hey, it's all good. It's all vibes
Yeah.
up in
Mm-hmm.
there. I think every
Mm-hmm.
year, don't they bring like what is it like? Is it mariachi bands or ranchero bands? I don't know if I don't know if the genre's right. I don't know if you know what I mean. I don't know if it's correct. I just remember going and whenever I used
Yeah,
to
yeah.
go and folks be having the cowboy boots and the hats and they be stepping. They always dress to impress. And when I come in there, I was like, I want to go to one of those concerts so bad, and I never get to see
It
them. So
is.
like, yeah, it's like,
It
bro.
is mariachi. Yeah, you got it right. It's mariachi. It's typically
Okay.
because it happens during September. So
Okay.
on
Yeah.
September 16th or September 17th, don't come for me on this, man. I know I'm
Mhm.
Mexican, but I think it's the 16th or the 17th is the Mexican Independence Day. So they have the day where they just like celebrate. They bring like mariachi and they just do this whole event. It's crazy. Yeah, man. We got to go down there
Wow,
on one of those days.
dude.
16th or the
Yeah,
17th.
dude, I'm telling you, yeah, because like I swear, between that and the monster when they be having the monster trucks up in there at the arena, like it's always packed, bro. It is packed, and everybody
Mm-hmm.
be dressed to impress. They have the flies boots, the hats, bro, tucked in, they button ups in the jeans, bro. I'd be like, dang, I was like, y'all really be dressing, no matter what I put on, bro.
Yeah,
I'm like, man,
man.
I know it's a nice event, bro. I'd be like, I be getting in. I love that. So I've been wanting to tap in for a minute.
Did you guys get a chance to peep the Super Bowl halftime? Oh, I know this has been a minute ago now, but the Bad Bunny halftime, what did you guys think?
I thought it was dope. I really liked it. Because I was watching the Super Bowl, so like I just kept watching like through the halftime performance. But I thought it was
You
dope.
didn't turn on
I
the
liked
Turning Point USA?
the what?
Yeah, no,
I
we
say
don't
you
get
didn't turn on the
alternative.
Turning Point USA?
Yeah, we
Nah,
don't get
That
alternative in this
alternative
household.
halftime?
Yeah, no, we
yeah,
don't get
nah.
alternative, bro. Yeah. Remember, I was trying to have a
It
good
is
time,
yeah,
man.
that was right.
That was crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Which
No,
is
but
yeah.
no, Bad Bunny, man. I think he just had like a really like it was really cool to have such a performance with so much thought behind it, so much heart behind it. When I was seeing that, like there, like almost everything was significant. Like what they were going from start
Oh
to
yeah.
finish in the performance, not even just the music. Like just actually like just seeing like when they had the was it the bodega buildings when they had a lot of
That was
Mm-hmm.
artists who
fire.
had that heritage, and it wasn't just like Puerto Rican. It was getting everybody, under the scope, make sure they let them know that
Mm-hmm.
that how unified America is and how big we are as like, I mean, on a continental scale, not just because of borders or anything like of that sort. But like, it was really cool to see that and just the references. Like, I loved going on TikTok and social media the day after because there's folks who were explaining like all these things I didn't even notice, and I was like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
like having that thought and that heart behind it. It hasn't, and I mean, even though it's only been a year, I was gonna say Kim and Kendrick Lamar put so much like things into everything they do. Like everything has a reference, it means something, and it's really cool. Like everything's
Yeah,
intentional,
man.
and I was like, man, but yeah, Bad Bunny, man, he crushed it. I loved it. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
We was I was literally I can't hit no salsa or nothing. I'm terrible at it, bro. It looked bad. But I was doing it in the living room. I was getting it in. I was like, yo, this is great. I
uh,
was vibing, man. I was like, man, I had to run some albums because I was asleep. I didn't realize how sleep I was on them until I was like, oh, hold on, let me give it a real spin, man. I was like, now I'm vibing, bro. I
mm-hmm.
love me some Bad Bunny. I think a lot of
Yeah,
people
man.
had that experience, which is great. Honestly, like more people needed that to be like, try something different. Just know that there's more to life than just what you are comfortable with. And it's not even like, you know what I mean? Like you're able to actually like expand and be like, yo, like I might not speak Spanish. I might not, I might not know the culture to a T or nothing like that, but you could vibe and learn. It makes you actually like really, really engage you to do so.
Absolutely, man.
Mm-hmm.
Before music was even like, just think back to, I don't know, like the Beethoven era. I know this is kind of a crazy comparison, Bad Bunny to Beethoven,
Mhm.
but like I'm saying, like before there was any actual lyrics in music, when it was just instrumentals, like people would just listen to the vibe, listen to the music, and then just be like, oh, this is
Mm-hmm.
good. You know what I'm saying? Before
Mhm.
anything was lyrical, like art
Hmm.
or music is art, like the way it speaks to people just off the vibe, the instruments, and all that stuff. But what were you saying, James? Before I know you wanted to say something. I just wanted to hear what you had to say.
No, I was just gonna say it was dope. I really like the way it was presented. Um, I think it's also pretty. I think it's kind of crazy. It's kind of like I think him being the headliner for the halftime show at the Super Bowl is kind of also like showing where like the direction I think the music game is kind of going. It's more international. I don't think there's
Mm,
as much of a I mean, I guess to an extent, push with like stateside artists. I think a lot more of it is going international. So I think
Hmm.
Bad Bunny getting booked to do the halftime show is just kind of a stamp of that. I think in
Yeah.
that's
general they're
yeah.
trying to reach out outside the states, look as far as like looking for talent, booking talent, and just trying to hit these different markets out there.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what the NFL was saying when people were complaining about how Bad Bunny was. They're like, oh, he only speaks Spanish. Like, not everybody can understand what he's saying. And I think Roger Goodell like came back and he was saying like, oh yeah, well, you know, I don't know if it was Roger Goodell. I saw someone say that they're trying to push the NFL to be more international because they are getting more traction from like people all
Hmm.
over outside of the USA. So it
Hmm.
only
Mm-hmm.
makes sense, bro. It only makes sense for you to have an artist that is not, only known in the United States. Like they're known globally. And like for me, I was like, what perfect example to have Bad
Hmm.
Bunny. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I think I saw
Absolutely.
somewhere
Exactly.
a TikTok that someone posted. It was like created by Apple, and it was just a bunch of different shots from like kids all over the world. Like I think I saw this shot of like two kids in Brazil watching on their TV, and they were just watching the Super Bowl performance. And in my
Oh,
head, I'm
that's
like, bro,
fire.
that's what music is about. And it was just a bunch of different shots of like different parts in the world where everybody was watching it, and I'm like this is exactly what they wanted, bro. Not just have to have Morgan Wallen out there. Like no diss to Morgan Wallen, but I'm just saying like
Mm-hmm.
you know
No, yeah, no, I'm dissing Morgan Wallen, but no, I was gonna say no, 100% though. Like I was gonna say, I think it was good having this international influence, especially someone like Bad Bunny, because being international is funny because I think Americans do forget we aren't the center of the universe. You know what I'm saying? Like everything we do
Mm-hmm.
isn't just like a whole like the whole world's watching, if that makes sense. Like there's
right.
100%.
folks
Yeah.
outside of this country that I've been are breaking our records in half, like with streaming and all that good stuff. Like the fact Shakira, Daddy Yankee, what's that called? Was it annual AA? I believe. You have
Mm-hmm.
what's that called? Yeah, you got. Davido, you from over in Nigeria, you got all these folks internationally who are
Danny
just
DeVito.
not Danny DeVito. That's an American legend right there. That's an icon. I was gonna say we own him. We own him. That's for sure.
Icon. Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That I was gonna say I ain't never seen that singer DeVito beat a penguin before. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So I was gonna say yeah, but yeah, yeah, but no, I was gonna say it's cool to see that like we're showing like, dude, there is so much out there besides just us. Like the world has
Mm-hmm.
so much more to offer, and like I think it's really cool to just even just for a second, just for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, like yo, just explore and try something different. Know there's good stuff outside this country, and that we're also not so alienated as culture wants us to believe. Like
Right.
we're all together and we all
Mm-hmm.
got it, man. And his performance was really cool. I loved his cameos he did, his celebrity cameos. I saw Jessica Alba, I
Yeah.
saw Pedro Pascal. Yeah, Cardi
Oh
B was
yeah.
there. Yeah, even Lady Gaga going out there and doing a little white girl shuffle. I
Oh
was loving
my.
it, bro. I was
God.
enjoying.
Bro, don't
Yeah.
even get me started. I had no idea how much I needed that salsa version of Die with a Smile. I promise you
Hmm.
that's if
Mm-hmm.
if Spotify rap comes out, that's gonna be my number one listen to because I was in there like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting her to
Mm-hmm.
come out at all.
Yeah, neither was I. It was a pleasant surprise. I love that she did that,
Yeah.
man. And yeah, I just loved it from head to toe. Like you just see that there was love behind that performance. It wasn't just something really quick and then like, all right, let me get out of here. No, there was some heart. There was some serious heart behind it, and it obviously is gonna leave lasting effects in the future. Like it really is going. It's going to do some great things, and I really can't wait to see how it goes. Like I said, people like me who didn't even listen to Bad Bunny like that, now I got him in my playlist. I listen to at least once a day. Like I really do. Like he's all
Yes,
up in my
sir.
mix now, and I love that. I love that I could be like cool, and I don't need all these direct like translations to know, because Lord knows I looked at the translation of some of these Bad Bunny songs. I said, "Oh Lord," I was sweating a little bit. I was like, "Yo," I was like, "Yo,"
Yeah,
whatever.
man.
Yeah, but he makes some beautiful music, man. I was like, I love it though.
Yeah.
It's like vibes for you. So yeah,
He
good
Yeah.
makes
stuff.
it all sound so good, but yeah, if you dive into those lyrics, man, you might not want to show your granny.
Yeah, definitely don't show my granny. I said, man, I didn't know how much he was actually saying on TV. I was like, I wonder what he was really getting in with.
Hmm.
Crazy.
There's so many good references in there. Like I don't know if any of you guys listening are Hispanic, and if you are, I know you probably saw a lot of these cool references, but there's so many little things that he sprinkled in there. Like one of my favorite moments, like there was, I think it was after the Die with a Smile performance, he transitioned into Nueva York, and there was this kid who was sleeping on the chair, and it's like it was one of those like if you know you know moments, like when you're at a party and you're sleeping on the chair with the music bumping and everything, and it's just like, you know, your parents
Hmm.
wake you, was like, hey, it's time to go. Like for me, bro, that hit close to home because I've been there one too many times when I was a kid, and I just remember like
Hmm.
it got me so nostalgic. And there was this other moment that I saw that kind of like spoke to me where I was it was this dude. It was towards the beginning where he was like selling tacos, and I know that I saw on TikTok that it was like an actual business from Mexico, like one of the states in Mexico. That guy was actually brought out by Bad Bunny, and he was just like pretty much promoting his business.
So
And then
cool.
after the fact, like
Hmm.
post Super Bowl performance, he got so much more like
Oh,
business revenue, and like people started coming out because of that. So I was like, bro, that's the fact that
worth
he
it.
did
That's
that, you know,
fire.
like in the biggest stage. I
Hmm.
thought that was tough.
Yeah, didn't he? Okay, I don't know if I was right. I've been seeing people talk about it. But did he get those people, that couple, to actually like? Because they invited him to their wedding. They actually got them to come get married at the performance. Was that
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
that was
Yeah.
some?
he
Yeah.
basically invited them to the wedding, or no, sorry, the couple invited Bad Bunny, like they sent out an invitation for them
Mhm.
to come to his wedding, but he's like, I'll do you one better, like come to the Super Bowl and have your wedding here.
Yeah.
So cool. That is so cool, man. Like that's so cool. Like I mean, some people don't realize that's huge, man. Like
Yeah,
being
man.
able to do that, and it was such a special moment for them. They'll never forget that. You just to let you
Never,
know,
bro.
they're gonna
Yeah,
be they're the only
bro.
person. They're the only person in history to say that. Yo, I got married at the Super Bowl, like at the halftime show. No one's done that ever, dude. Like
That's
you
a
own that.
stunt.
That's 101. Yeah, yeah. That's so cool.
That's gonna be like
Yeah.
those what is it, two truths and a lie, like
Mhm.
There you go. Yeah.
Serious. They're gonna win
so
that
I got
game
married
every
at the
time.
Super Bowl. Yeah, right.
They're gonna win every
Listen
time,
to this
man.
guy.
Listen
Yeah,
to
listen
this, get
to
a
this
load of
guy.
this guy.
Yeah, I love the performance. I think honestly, like I said, it's gonna bring a lot of good positive after effects, and I love the exposure. Just being able to put folks on a pedestal like that, to be able to open up and just be like, look, man, like we all people, we all have different ways, different backgrounds, different culture, but at the end of the day, we all the same because there's things you can relate with. Like you were talking about
Hmm.
the kids sleeping on the chair, like how that's how y'all like in your upbringing, that's what it was like. I remember, like at parties and stuff, I'd be sleeping in the coat room. Wherever they throwing the coats on the bed, I used to be sleeping on there. And then some people could relate with that too. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there's things where I could be like, I get what you're saying. Like I used to go to parties and fall
Yeah.
asleep
Hmm.
at places, and I can understand that, but that makes me, it really shows, because it's just like no matter where your background in some way, shape, or form, we all have a little likeness, and it's just cool to see that. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
man, like
Exactly,
we're
man.
not so different at all whatsoever. So
I don't know why when you said that, I just imagine like somebody pulling up to the party and they open up the coat door and it's just like you hanging from the little hanger, just open it up
yeah,
just asleep.
yeah, just leave. Yeah, all right, just give me your coat. I got you. Here, give me your coat.
I got
Pick
you.
it up. Yeah,
Oh
for
my
sure.
God, man. Basically, man, so I know everything is a lot more digital now with like Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, all that stuff being like the how people access their music now, but I was just having a conversation with my sister about physical media, and I was telling her how much I miss like physical, like listening to music, like going to buy a CD whenever your favorite albums just dropped. Because for me, man, like that just makes me so nostalgic. Because I remember growing up, my dad had a, I don't know what they're called, but it's like a little folder, and you would unzip it, and then you just flip through all the CDs, and that's how you would listen to your music, as opposed to like picking up your phone, searching up an album. Like to me, I just think that just meant more to the music, because you couldn't just hit shuffle. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't just hit
Mm-hmm.
shuffle and then listen to whatever music you wanted to. You actually had to listen to that thing from top to bottom, and I feel like that's how the artist obviously intended for the
Mm-hmm.
music to be listened to. But like for me, man, like that's something that I miss a lot. It's just like the physical, um, whether that's a CD, a record or cassette, whatever it may be. That's something that I hope makes a comeback soon, man.
Mm-hmm.
How you guys feel about that?
I agree 100%. I think just aside from like having to listen to the whole thing top to bottom, and I'm sure Aaron can relate to this, is like I love with the physical media, like they would always, or like I think any hardcore fan of like any artist, you would go through and read, who was on the writing credits, what label was it dropped
Mm-hmm.
under. Sometimes the artist would put in like a little note like on the front or on the back, whether it was a CD or a vinyl. And then it's kind of cool because it's like as you go through, CDs, as you go through albums, you're like, oh hey, you start to recognize names, you start to recognize labels, you start to recognize this whole thing, and then like
Mm-hmm.
just if you're a fan of like the music or any kind of genre, really, you kind of start seeing like how this whole thing works all together, right? But I think it's also more of a
Mm-hmm.
personal touch from like the artist to the fans versus like if you just hit shuffle, you don't really get anything out of it, and I don't really think too many people like swipe up to read like the stuff that you see like on Apple Music. They kind of just put it on shuffle next, whatever, go on their playlist. Well, with the CDs, you gotta
Mm-hmm.
actually like open it, and then you look at it, and the same thing with the vinyls. You open it, and you're like, oh hey, da da da. So I think, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think that's like the biggest thing, is like a personal touch from the artist, is like in those
Yeah,
physical forms of media.
Yeah.
it just makes you
No.
appreciate it so much more, because I did forget about those little like inserts that they would put on the side of the CDs, or like even the vinyls. When you open it, they have like little things that you could read. um I totally forgot about that, but yeah, no, that makes you like kind of it's almost like a love letter from the artist. It's like, hey, like, thank you for
That's
listening to
a
my
good way
music.
to put it.
This is why,
Yes.
yeah, like this is why I did this, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully you
Hmm.
enjoy it. But yeah, I forgot about those.
Some of those things turn
Oh,
into posters too.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they do.
They so do. They so
Remember?
do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You could
Yeah.
hang you could
Hold on.
hang them
Sorry. Yeah, I had
bitches
to
in
go.
your
I,
wall.
I had to grab a little bit of examples here. So I got John B. Hold on, got a little John B album here, but like you said, bro,
Yeah.
like you're able to open up in here and pull the stuff out, and you got all the writing credits on these songs, but not just that, they got lyrics on there. You learn to sing along, you learn the
Yes.
words of your favorite songs on here. Like, you actually take that time to learn that. And yeah, sure, you could do that on Apple Music or Spotify or however you like it, but not a lot of people do that. Like you said, they don't go and check the credits. And I do. I'm a credit,
Hmm.
especially if like I hear an instrumental that I love. I gotta know who produced it. I was like, let me know who jumped on this, and I'd be
Yeah,
heartbroken. There's so many folks, you go in there and you kind of look, they don't even care to credit the producers on here, and you're like, dang, like that's mad
That's
crazy
the
because I want to
worst,
know who
man.
made
That's
this.
the worst.
Yes, it's the worst, man. It's the worst feeling. You're just like, dude, I just want to know who made the beat so I can know who to keep an eye out for. And yeah,
be
like
gatekeeping for no reason. Yeah.
they do, or they just be getting it off of Beat Stars and don't know who they who really produced the beat,
Oh
and that's the
man.
dang thing, man. Like,
Yeah.
but like you really do, like, yeah. Like y'all was saying though, physical media, especially having CDs, because I got CDs, you know, vinyls, like you got all this stuff. Like, I think honestly, the best thing about physical media is you have to go invest in buying it. You have to go.
Yeah.
You
And
really
that
gotta
was the
rock
thing.
with
It's like
it.
when yeah, when you get an artist, you're like, oh, I like this artist. I'm gonna go run their album. You don't just be like, okay, I liked a couple songs because I skimmed through really fast. No, like I listened to this album from start to finish. I paid maybe like $12 for this album. I have to like at least give it an honest listen. Like I have to do that. Like you do make
Hmm.
that investment, and it makes it feel like it's your property. Like it's like they sell you.
It
Yeah.
Like they're
does.
literally selling you their music. You know, and
Hmm.
yeah, like yeah, I love what I loved about like back in the days being able having to stay out at Best Buy before they open, try to be the first to pick up albums. You know what I mean? Like you had to go do that. My dad used to do that. He used to have the CD sleeves like your father did, Carlos. Like I still got my
Yeah.
dad's one in here somewhere. It's funny enough. It's just funny because it also is almost like a scrapbook. It's a history scrapbook. Because my dad
Yeah.
accumulated
Yeah,
things.
low
Yeah,
That's
key.
exactly what it feels like.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's so funny because like you go in there and you just think of like what people used to listen to. Like my dad got 3 Shaq albums in there. Like I think like it's crazy. Like you're like yo, this is insane, man. Like like you're like that's crazy, man.
I love
But
it.
like having those,
Oh,
yeah, but having that kind of physical media, man, it really does mean more. Like when you're able to buy stuff, like able to buy it and take it home, you make that investment, and then when you really like it, then you know for a fact because you listen to it front and back, you really actually love the artist, and then you remember their albums in the past. Most of the albums I will always remember are ones I've listened to all the way through. Not like if I'm like,
yeah.
oh, let me just
Hmm.
go check out this Uzi album real quick, but I only care about a certain amount of features I see on there, and I just grab one, two, whatever off of Apple. Then I'm not really listening to the whole project, and I'm not giving it a chance. But it also makes artists a little complacent and lazy on dropping a complete project. Not many people drop complete projects from start to finish that are solid. Some people just drop things just to fill up their songs. Like, there was a big influx of deluxe albums a
Yes.
few years back, and like they would just keep dropping. They're like, we got 20 songs, 40 songs. Like Chris Brown would
Mm.
drop, I think, like
Hmm.
300 songs within like 3 albums. Like, like, but he
Yeah.
was,
I
like, I
I can't
rather.
remember what album it was,
Mhm.
but this was back, I think it was like 2021 when he dropped the album with like 40 songs on it. And it was like,
Yeah.
it took me like 3 years to listen to that album because I was like,
Yeah,
bro,
Hmm.
dude. And you can't remember select ones really that you like because there are so many that kind of sound
that's
almost
what
the
I'm
same.
saying.
Yeah, like you're like, and it's no disrespect to his work or nothing, but when you drop that many, it doesn't really do it for me because that's also another thing about me. I'm very big. I rather get 8 to 12 songs that are just solid, that you love, that were good, that were just good records, than have 20 plus on an album. I don't need all that.
Yeah.
I need Give me 8 to 12. Give me just something like I just know for a fact if you give me eight, that's 8 songs that you are like, these are the ones. I want these
Hmm.
all out and they're good, really good. So
That's how
I trust that more.
that's how this new Jack Harlow album makes me feel
Mm-hmm.
because I think he put, I think, a solid like 8 to 10. I could be wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but he did put a solid, a couple of songs, but you can tell that he actually he put his soul into it. And when I
Mm-hmm.
first listened to it, I posted on my Instagram story. I was like, bro, this makes me feel like this album alone, what was it called? Monica. It
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
makes me feel like I'm like just sitting in a Barnes and Noble in the early 2000s, and I just got my headphones plugged in, and I'm just like, jamming. Like it just, I don't know, something about that album is just it's different, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why I like it so much.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. And yeah, I love that he did it and he didn't drop so many. He just was like, yeah, like you said, I think it's like 8 to 10, somewhere in between there. And they're just good.
Yeah,
They're
it's
good records.
perfect.
Yeah, good records, man. Like, and you could tell he took his time. Like you could tell also that he has more. He did more in this what they call eras. Like when they're doing an album, they're like, oh yeah, in this Monica era, he probably has maybe 25 songs he worked on in between this time from start to finish. But he's like, nah, these
Yeah.
eight are the ones that are gonna work, and they flow good, and they're
Hmm.
the best. They're the best ones. Like I'd rather you just drop the best ones, not just like, okay, these are probably maybe someone will like this, maybe it's okay, but you could tell he loved them, all of them. So good.
Do you think we'll get a deluxe like soon from that? Because I liked it, but I mean,
Yeah, of
for me personally, sometimes I feel like I could use a couple more songs depending on the
course.
album, depending on the vibe. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe.
I just always like when they drop a deluxe later.
Yeah, maybe two or three. I think maybe two or three songs if you want to do like that, or maybe even just a little EP and call it like the outtakes or whatever, because I like when they do that too, where they're kind of like, we'll separate it, but it's in this era, so you know what came out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
definitely would like more. I want to see what else he was working on in this era, or if this is how
Yeah.
he's going. I want to see what else he was doing because these are really good. But I am curious, like you said, just like I could use a couple more. I could definitely use a few more. I would think so. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
I would like to see that. Say, have y'all did y'all listen to the 10-year anniversary of Forest Hill Drive?
Not
I have
yet, not
not.
yet,
I
but it's
have
on,
it,
yeah, it's on my
but
Oh,
list.
I
you
haven't
just
listened to it.
Oh yeah, no, and that's kind of like one of my best examples was that he did drop like a basically a little like I think it's 8 songs that were kept that he made in that era of working on that album that didn't make the album. So now we have like outtakes in
Mm.
there, and they're really good, and you could tell it's in that style in that pocket that he was in at that time. So it's really cool when you
Mm-hmm.
got something like that. Kind of like Untitled Unmastered by Kendrick Lamar. You got that little
Oh
pocket when he was
yeah.
doing that Pimp a Butterfly, and The Pimp Butterfly is one of
Yeah.
my favorite albums all time. So, honestly, it might actually be my number one, to be honest with you. But, like, having Untitled Unmastered, all them songs could have fit in there, but it didn't fit for him. But for me,
Mm.
I wanted more music of that era, and we got that. So, it's good.
That's actually a perfect example. Yeah, because I totally forgot about that 10-year anniversary. I think
Hmm.
Mac Miller just dropped one too for Good AM.
Yeah, it's really good, man, and especially with Mac too. Like, it's and with Mac, honestly, his estates handled it so beautifully. Like how they were able to
Yeah.
drop his music that was that he never got to drop, but not just dump it till he has nothing left. And that's what sadly
Oh yeah.
we seen that with Pop Smoke. They dropped 2 albums and then he had
Yeah.
nothing else. He had nothing else. They bled
Yeah.
him dry. And then they just dumped him. And now we don't ever talk about him, sadly. And it's just a sad truth. Like, I'm not saying we wanted more because even now Nipsey Hussle's about to get his first posthumous album, and like even I feel a little weird about it because like I do want it, but it's gonna make me sad. I don't like to know that you just bled him dry of anything he recorded, and now
Mm-hmm.
same for X. We don't hear anything anymore because they bled him dry of anything. Even they had sounds of him playing on the drums, man, like him out in voicemails. Like that's weird, man. Like it's kind of weird when y'all get to that point. Like if there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing that was completed, something that works, especially when someone's not here with us no more, definitely have to find that that little like just being able to do it in good taste, not just bleed them dry of everything. Like we haven't gotten much of MF Doom since he passed away, rest in peace, but like like and that's good. I mean, I don't need everything because I don't want him to bleed him dry and just be like, yeah, we heard literally anything he tried to use on a drum pad or he tried to record or whatever. So like definitely Mac Miller's estate did such a great job dropping the right amount of music of things that just were complete and they actually got done and it doesn't sound bad and they're just what I mean, just trying to just bleed him dry of anything else that he has to offer because he has great projects. I was happy to see a lot of these get vinyls. Balloonerism, I think that's how you say it. Loved it.
And I wanted to add on to what you were saying earlier, Aaron, is like it's really an investment when you go and buy the physical media because like if we were to rewind to like 2002, right? Boom, you got like Nelly, Luda, Ti all dropping right first week, and then if they're all priced at like $12, right? You're like, oh damn, I only got so much. Which one am I gonna take? Because eventually it starts to
Yes,
add up once you have a certain amount.
yes.
So then it's like you really got to pick out, who you want. And I think from the artist standpoint,
Hmm.
they understood that. So it's like, yo, if I'm going to
Hmm.
drop with all these other people same week, I got to make sure my shit
Hmm.
the hardest. Cause if it's going to come down to
Yes,
like me or one other person, I got to make sure that, I deliver so they
yes.
go with my shit over someone else's. So it's like, it really
Yeah,
was like an
yeah.
investment back then.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was actually real competition. That was real competition because people like you said, not everyone has the money to just buy everything that came out that week. You know what I mean? So they were
Yeah.
like, yeah, you had to make that choice because nowadays, you got competition with streaming, but like I can go listen to every album that came out for the day and just run it, and you know what
Right.
I'm saying. Then you got to stream for me no matter what. So like, it doesn't matter what my opinion is. But me going to buy it, that's the real investment. That's really telling who's going in there and
Mm-hmm.
who's going to spend their hard-earned money on my project.
In your
Remember me,
playlist right
man.
now, swiping your card, bro. I go broke.
Yes, man. Yo, crazy. Like that's what I'm saying. I'm over
You
here using
know?
my hard-earned money to pick up a Chipotle bowl while listening to every album that came out. That's not competition. Come on now.
Yeah. And also really quick to add on to what you
hmm
were saying earlier, Carlos, you had mentioned that like um in the whip when you couldn't put your CDs on shuffle. You had to, put it in, play the whole joint and then swap it out with another one or whatever. It's so crazy because
Right.
it's like now, like yeah, with the streaming thing, I think you guys are right. Like the middle could be some filler shit because if you're dropping a digital album, you're only gonna get like what 3-5 spins before they shuffle and go on the back to the playlist. But back then,
hmm
knowing like you can't shuffle out a CD in the whip, like you had to make sure everything was heat, heat, heat. Otherwise, you're
hmm
just gonna toss your shit out the
Bro,
window.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I
bro,
Literally,
can
mean?
you
physically toss it out the window, bro. I remember. Yeah, that's the one thing I think. The one thing about streaming that was good is that we don't have that much CD litter like we used to. But folks really used to toss that out
yeah.
the window, bro. They really wasn't like get that
Yeah,
out of
bro. If
here.
your shit not, yeah. But
Yeah.
now you could have some filler trash in the middle because in your mind as an artist, I would imagine now to some extent they're either gonna go back to their regular playlist, take a break, come back to it later,
hmm
or they just gonna not even listen to the whole shit. They just gonna like skip
Yep.
it or like trim through it real quick, pick a couple things
hmm
that got some melodies to it, and then but you
Yep.
couldn't do that with a CD. You knew back then they was gonna listen to your
Yeah.
shit start to finish. But if it wasn't even hot
Yep.
after like 3-4 songs, right out the window.
hmm
Can you
hmm
imagine? Obviously, we didn't get to live through this time as like adult now, but can you imagine um taking Shorty out on a date and you just gotta have the right CD to like, make
Yo,
sure that it's hitting. Kind of like when you have the
yeah,
playlist ready,
Yeah.
like when
yeah,
you go pick up someone on a date,
100%,
like let me pick the right playlist. Like, what
100%.
CD would you have ready to like on deck?
That's a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. I'll probably go like if it's a first date, just because off the top of
Yeah.
my head, what I'm thinking is like has a little bit of everything on it. It's probably like Usher Confessions.
Ooh, that's what I was
That
gonna
was my
say,
first.
bro.
That was
That's
my
the
Yeah,
first
perfect
CD I
one.
ever got. First CD I ever got. I remember I had the
Same.
yeah,
Walkman, and my dad got me that. That was my yes. That was my first. That and Ludacris's Chicken
The
yeah,
and
one
Beer.
where
Too. Yeah.
yeah. Hell
Ooh.
yeah.
yeah.
Ooh. That was a good
Yeah, you
one.
Bro,
Good
really
I
gotta
cut
think I
pick
there. That
something
was
got
a
that's
good
like,
cut. That was it. The Usher,
yeah,
yeah.
bro. People do not
Oh,
give Luda his respect. My little brother was. I
yeah.
told him for a moment in time, Ludacris ran the world, and he wasn't trying to hear that. He's like, who, where,
Dude,
when?
you're
I was
crazy.
like, man,
You, you're crazy. No, because
He
yeah,
there
said,
was
"Are you
a
talking
point
about
in
the guy from Fast and the Furious?"
yeah, he's the
yes, that's
best.
how he knows him. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm like, bro, y'all don't
Dog.
understand, bro.
Yeah. Dog, I be saying that I can go on a whole college discourse about this. I was gonna say there was a point in time Kanye West, Pharrell, Nelly, and Ludacris ran the radio station. There was like every song was one of
Yes,
them. At least something
yes,
of some sort. Like, dude, yes, man. You're crazy. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Ludacris is he has probably the craziest little discography of albums he's ever I've ever seen. I went and saw him at
Yep,
Oh
Bumbershoot
yeah.
years ago in 2019. I see him in
mm-hmm.
2019. He was always like, all right, he was like, let me see if y'all know this song. And it was literally a
Yeah,
banger, just like a Billboard Top 100. Like it was for an hour straight.
yeah.
He just kept doing that. I was like, dude, this is insane, man. He's crazy. Yeah,
I feel like people
absolutely,
Man,
man.
I
forget, but
can just
like
didn't.
if you go through them shits, you be like, yo, he has some shit.
And Ludacris had some of the most ridiculous albums I've ever, or beats I've ever heard in my life. Like I still to this day, if I can get even a fraction of how he gets down, then I'd be feeling like I'm fulfilled,
Mm-hmm.
bro. Because he got on some crazy
Facts. Yeah.
records, man. And I love, yeah,
His
Ludacris, yeah,
videos,
Nelly. Yeah, oh, music videos were iconic, dude. I remember, folks wanted to, bro. That's why I'm like, man, y'all don't like. That's crazy. It's just like how we're. I know it's been 20 years now since like he was really out here popping like that. But it's crazy how 20 years really folks really do just be like, who's Ludacris? Like you make me feel old, but like
yeah,
you don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll fight tooth and nail. Now I know how old heads felt when I was a kid, and they be like bringing up stuff like they're like, oh yeah, the Isley brothers. But I'm like, oh, I don't care about James Brown. They said no, you gonna listen to James Brown. They will literally fight me about that. Like, cause you gonna
yeah.
listen. You don't understand. There was a, like that's the guy right there. So yeah.
100%.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, my
Yes.
bad,
Oh
Yeah.
Carlos. I didn't mean to
man.
throw us off track, bro. But I just had
No,
to
it's
throw those
good,
No,
things
bro.
bro,
out
that
there because
was
people don't be knowing.
That was
Mhm.
actually better than what I was thinking about the J. Cole segment. That was actually you could have not laid it out any more smoothly, bro. That was
Yeah.
perfect.
Hmm.
To close it off though, I hate to end this podcast, but to close it off, man, Aaron, I know you got a project coming up soon. I just want to see if you wanted to talk a little bit more about it, man. I know that like you and I were talking off camera about you say you recruiting artists and stuff. And for those of
Mm-hmm.
you that don't know, Aaron does actually do producing on the side. One of the artists that he produces for is Malik Elijah, and if you haven't checked out his music, man, Malik is actually he's the truth, man. So go check his stuff out. But Aaron, if you want to go ahead and talk about your project coming up, man, I know people would love to hear
Yeah.
it.
I would love to. So I was thinking, working on next project. I do want to get more artists because I do beat tapes, but like I was like, I want to do something different. I love to have a showcase of really talented artists. It's really hard networking nowadays with different artists, and folks is just kind of like they have to keep a professionalism with them, so they kind of lose that element of that. We're all people just trying to make it. We're all just trying to get the right exposure. So I wanted to do a project where I got folks who who are talented, who need that, who can get that nice exposure, and they can network with each other. It kind of opens it up, you know what I mean, and connects us around the country, really, because now I got people from over on the east and the west coast trying to get together. So like it feels like I'm kind of getting the Avengers together a little bit because I'm over here scouring and asking people in all these different corners. I'm like, hey man, you're nice in this little area. What's good? So being able to
Mm-hmm.
kind of post and be like, hey, I'm trying to look for some artists who would be good. Actually, quite a few people reached out and was like, I'm trying to be on it. Like Malik hit me up and was like, I'm down to do it. I have an artist in Maryland. He's like, hey, I'm always good to do it. Artist in Tacoma, Carlos, you know him, Lil Tavis. He said, I'm trying to do it.
Hmm.
Like getting him.
Mm.
You're getting like just being able to have like actually a lot of people who come to me before, because I already have a list right now of folks I'm about to reach out to, but there's a good chunk of them already wanted to jump on, which is just amazing. Like it's good to do that, and I want to be able to drop a project where everybody from all the corners of the country are able to get their time to just be like, this is my thing, this is how I get down. If you like me, then we can go from there, and then also the artists are more connected, because I want to see more folks, especially folks who aren't signed to a label, just get a chance to network with each other and actually build something. Because honestly, artist community, we had a renaissance before COVID. A lot of artists like SoundCloud rappers and all that, like you
Mm-hmm.
was able to make it work without having to go the traditional route of stardom, or becoming a music artist. So I want to bring that kind of
Yep.
revive that back. So yeah, like that definitely. I don't have a title for the project yet. Like it's gonna probably end up being something geeky, some Avengers related. Because I'm like I said, I'm literally recruiting folks. I feel like Nick Fury. I'm pulling up on people's couches with a gun with a silencer and an eye patch on. And I'm just like, yo, it's good. So
uh,
it's good. It's
a
beautiful,
question for
man. I'm
you, bro.
excited.
I don't know if you talked
Yeah.
about this. Question for you. I don't know if you talked about this. I might have missed it, but so is this gonna be more so like a DJ Khaled produced album where you're just like producing everything and you just got different artists on the track, or are you actually gonna hop on there and like drop some bars or?
That's actually funny. I was even thinking before I was thinking of getting artists, I was gonna just end up. I was thinking about trying to do something, lay something down myself. I don't know so much. I
Mm,
don't know if I'm already gonna get a couple on there. I think something that I'm feeling for sure. But right now, it is gonna be kind of like you said, DJ Khaled or like Alchemist, where I'm gonna produce this whole
mm,
project, and then it's gonna fit a good vibe. Like the vibe, it's the whole thing's gonna be cohesive. Everything I'm gonna be working with these guys
Mm-hmm.
with isn't gonna just be random one-off beats and it's just gonna be all over the place. It's gonna be cohesive. It's gonna have a singular vibe, and but yeah, all these artists are gonna be able to express themselves within this pocket. And it's gonna be great. Like I think so. Like I definitely more DJ Khaled esque. I'm gonna get these artists on. I want every record to be them showcasing their stuff. But yeah, I'm probably gonna jump on a couple, especially if it's only like one artist and I want to fill if I need to fill a verse in or whatever feels right. But I don't know. Yeah, I got to figure that out, man. Like I have so many different. I have like four different little rap voices I've done over the last 4 years. So I got to figure out how I'm going to attack it. So, but definitely, if I do, I
Yeah.
definitely will be on a couple. Y'all know if it's me. That's for sure.
yeah. with that being said, man, if you do music or if you think that you want to do something with Aaron, feel free to hit him up. Just
Absolutely.
DM the For the Record page. If you are interested, I know Aaron, like he said, he's looking for artists all over the place. So not just you don't
Yeah.
have to be, on the East Coast. Just hit him
Mm-hmm.
up, and then yeah, man. With that being said, that's a wrap for episode 2. Appreciate you guys listening again. If you guys like the episode, just let us know. We're looking for feedback, like I said, whether it be constructive criticism. We just want to hear what you guys think of the pod, man. Like I said, this is our first time doing this, so we obviously want to make this thing good, and just want to know what you guys think of the episodes. Episode 1 is already on YouTube, so go check that out if you haven't already. And yeah, man, without further ado, thank you guys for listening. This has been another episode For the Record. Thank you.